Hi, I'm Guy Andrews and this is Guy's Garage, and I'm in my new Hyundai i30N. I've sold the BMW 135, which I've done a lot of videos in at track days and various outings in the countryside, and here's the new car. So the big question for me when I purchased this car was, am I going to be able to play with my mates who are driving M140s and 1Ms, etc. So I have my buddy follow me right now in his M140, Marcus, who's a pretty handy steerer. He's won a few rounds of the Paul Stokell Tarmac Challenge, so he knows his way around a car. And he's got a very nice M140 with R spec rubber and Factory LSD. And we're going to just go for a run. It's the first time I've actually had a chance to run together up the mountain and compare to see if, Touge Style, if I can get, here he goes, just let him through, so just Touge Style to see if I can actually get anywhere near him, if I can stay on his tailpipe and see. But that car obviously in a drag race situation is just going to leave me for dead. This car's not as powerful. That handles really nicely. The M140 has adaptive suspension, as does the Hyundai. This car I've been impressed with its cornering speed. I've only owned it for about a week and a half. So the big question is, driven in a Touge road situation, and later we'll go to a track as well. But can I hang on to a car that's worth a little bit more money and obviously has more power? But this little E-diff really gets the power down well out of corners, and I guess the whole trick is to hold on to that corner speed and try and keep up with Marcus. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to find out. So we're just about to hit the hills. I don't know if Marcus is just playing at the moment, just warming up, but definitely this thing has some great corner speed. You see they're right on in there. We trust each other. He knows that I can get close to him and he's not going to do anything silly. But, this is a country drive too. Remember, we have a lot of limitations. It might be a different story at a racetrack perhaps. I've got the tyres pressured down a little lower than I've had in the past, and so I can feel them just warming up. So it's a cool afternoon. You can see that power that 140's got, but I'm not getting left. Trying to work out, I've got a manual gearbox. Marcus has got an 8-speed DCT, so he's got a few more options there in terms of ratios. And I've got to travel the car, I've got to decide whether I'm going to use that mid-range torque. These cars are really nice. I think, you just drive that mid-range torque band. They do drop off a little bit in the power at the high end unless you play with the tune, but this is standard. So I think just keeping it in that lower mid-rev range out of corners is probably the best option. I was staying up in third gear there when you think about second, but it was alright. Let's get it into my tyre pressures are just at 35 now. They started at 32.5 front, so probably just about right now. I've got the lap time. I've got a little time that I do up this hill here relative, so we'll whack that on. That's a fun little option on the analog dash. And I also will go into custom mode, so that's going to give me the sport dampening, and a little bit more forgiving on these bumpy roads, and everything else wide open. So I'm going to have to use the brakes. There's a little power section here. See how we go up against this thing. Not too bad. Big bumps there. You can see you need that sport setting over these country bumps instead of the Sport Plus. Got a little slow section here over a bridge. Oh, Mark is having a little run off there. I hope he's going alright. See the power of the 140 there, but this thing, I'm getting on the gas nice and early. Feel the back end just wanting to come around. It's alright, it feels good. Just feeling the tyres out. I really do like that rev matching. You can just hammer the brake. Now that's that E-diff, you see that? Just pull out of there. So I really get the power down early. Alright, Marcus has got my other camera in that car. He's going to follow me down the hill, so we'll see how this goes. Definitely going to be time to get some coilovers to keep up with this friggin' i30N. She looks pretty stable from the back through those corners. Hello there, I've swapped cars with Marcus. So he's going to drive the Hyundai for the first time. Hasn't probably driven a manual for a while. He's had the nice 8-speed ZF M140. You can tell we trust each other, don't you? Interesting. Oh, straight in. So, different car. So M140. And I'll give it a minute. Just get it into sports settings before I make any calls or anything. Yeah, that's tightened things up. Little more disconnected in the straight away. My thoughts that I've driven this car a few times, but I'm more disconnected with the steering in this car than I am with the Hyundai. Yeah, pedal feel on the brakes not as not giving me the same feedback. You can tell Marcus has settled into that thing pretty quickly. Now, why am I not? I'm not. The gearbox is getting it to work for me now. Oh, yeah, now we've got power. Hey. I was probably driving in 8th gear. The chassis though, the steering particularly not as sharp as that thing. Oodles of power. And we're comparing a standard N and a standard M140. So I guess that's reasonably fair. Tons of power in this thing. I feel like this thing could bite me. Like it feels like more car. The weight's almost identical. I think even the N may be heavier, but it feels the M140 feels heavier to drive. And my biggest thing is this steering's just not as connected. Still rolling good. So yeah, I don't know if we had me on camera before, but straight into the bimmer out of the N car, and I just feel a little less connected to this car than in the Hyundai. Let's see what Marcus thinks. I'll get him to come and talk to the camera, but yeah, just for me, I feel less connected through the steering and the chassis in this car. Unreal engine, the B58, but standard for standard. So Marcus's first impressions on the Hyundai N.
She's good fun. It's fuck. It definitely turns in nice. Like it just
the
points.
Steering.
Yep.
I know Marcus hates it when I say this, but this feels less connected through the steering than that does.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the power's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you can see that this is more of a luxury cruiser almost.
Yeah,
like it feels like a comfortable cruiser, whereas that feels like from factory it's tuned to do this sort of shit.
Exactly. Yep.
But fun, eh?
Oh, it's good fun. It's time to get fucking coilovers for this thing too.
Time to get coilovers for this thing, you reckons? Yeah, I reckon too.